What is good, everybody? It is your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. I am going to give you the 5 most important Chicago Bears for the 2019-2020 season right after this.
On 1, on 2, on 3.
Stop it! Do not do him like that! Mercy! Did you not get the memo?
Before I give you the top 5 Bears, if you are a fan of Chicago sports, if you enjoy Chicago sports talk, if you enjoy watching things talking about Chicago sports, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Make sure to join this channel because that is what we post constantly. So please subscribe. Number 5 for me is Kyle Fuller. Kyle Fuller is coming off one of his best seasons last season, but the question is, can he do it again? Kyle Fuller, let's be honest, before last year had a career that was lackluster. In fact, Vic was ready to ship him out of here. He was ready to get another guy in here instead of Kyle Fuller, but Kyle Fuller has turned himself into not just a good player for the Bears, not just a top cornerback in the NFC, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Mark me when I say that, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Kyle Fuller has done so much just in last season. 7 interceptions, was so good passing, had a little trouble with double moves, it looked like to me. It looked like when people were making double moves, he was getting kind of caught up on that first move. He did a good job recovering, but just a little bit of trouble with double move. But listen, if Kyle Fuller has worked on that, if he has improved on that, if he has gotten better this offseason, he can be one of the top cornerbacks in this NFL. I'm talking about up there with the best of the best. When it comes to talent, he's got all of it. He's got the speed. Last year, he showed he also has the hands. The season before, only 2 interceptions. Really got his hands on a lot of footballs, but just couldn't get them going the other direction. He really struggled with that. But last season was so good at that. So good at getting those balls in the air, popping them straight up, making plays where other people could get involved, keeping plays alive, and just being an all-around shutdown corner. That's what you got to see from Kyle Fuller coming into this season. He's got to be one of your top Chicago Bears coming into the 2019-2020 season. Number 4, David Montgomery. Now, I know a lot of you are looking at me like, can the kid play it down before we make him one of the most important players on the team? No. Listen, this kid was drafted for one reason. He's got great hands. Jordan Howard was a great back. Don't get me wrong. Jordan Howard was great for the Chicago Bears. Now, did he fit Nagy's offense? Really not that well. He's kind of started coming on late, but he was a great talent for the Chicago Bears. If anybody's out here disrespecting Jordan Howard, please don't. But there was one area where he needed to improve, and that was his hands. He needed to be a better receiver. David Montgomery is a great receiver. He's a great power back. He's got nice speed, and he's not going to go down easily. That's what you want, the all-encompassing back. That is what David Montgomery is. So for the Chicago Bears to really have great success this season, he has to be a key piece in this offense. He has to be your number 1 back. Is Tariq Cohen nice? Yes, but Tariq Cohen's more of a gadget guy. Do I think that he should have been rated higher on Madden? Duh. Do I think that he can really impact this offense, be great in this offense, be a top player in this offense? Yes, I do. But at the same time, he's not going to be the number 1 guy. He can't be out there every down at the running back position. David Montgomery can be a 3-down kind of guy. And if you're mixing Tariq Cohen in with that, that's a beautiful thing. Now, you might think, why don't you have Tariq at this spot if he's got to be more important? Listen, Tariq is what Tariq is. Tariq is unstoppable in open space. Tariq is a gadget guy. Tariq can play receiver. He can play punt return. He can do all of that. Tariq is great. But you need a guy who you can count on at that for 3 downs in a row. And David Montgomery can be that guy. I think from what we saw in the first game of the season, he is that guy. And I think going forward, he's going to be even better. This kid has all the intangibles. He has what it takes. He just has to put it all together this season. And I believe that he is going to be one of the most important players for the Chicago Bears in 2019-2020. Number 3 on this list for me, Akiem Hicks. Akiem is a monster. There's no doubt about it. Akiem is a beast. Akiem is a bear coming through the middle. Akiem is an unstoppable force, and he has to continue to be that for these Chicago Bears. If he can remain healthy all season, This Bears defense is so much better. As much as Khalil Mack feeds Akeem Hicks feeds Khalil Mack. Who are you going to stop? Who are you going to double team? You can't hold both of them. Akeem Hicks has to continue his reign of dominance that he showed last year. He is such a force coming through. Quarterbacks fear him because they see him so much. These guys on the other side, these centers, they can't hold him. They can't hold him. Now, is he up there with the Aaron Donalds of the league? No. He's not that, but he's that next tier. He's right there. He's right there. It's basically like trying to stop a mountain from doing what it wants to do. Akeem Hicks really has proven that he makes such an impact. He gets his hands up on so many footballs coming over the middle. He gets into the quarterback's face. If nothing else, he scares the crap out of most of these QBs in the league to where they got to move out of the way to where either Leonard Floyd or Khalil Mack is making a play on him. If Akeem Hicks comes out and continues his reign of dominance, the Chicago Bears defense will be at the peak. At the peak, the number one defense in the NFL yet again. Now, the number 2 player on this list for me. This is a tough one because I kept going back and forth on who would be the most important player for the Chicago Bears, but I had to think about it. There are so many names on this Bears defense that impact what the Chicago Bears do on this defense that I did put Khalil Mack at number 2 on this list as the second most important player on the Chicago Bears. I know people are losing their minds right now. Listen, I get it. He's great. He's amazing. He's so dominant. He is a beast. He's Khalil Mack. Return of the Mack. Return of the Mack. But at the end of the day, Khalil Mack's going to do what Khalil Mack does. Yes, I put him at the second most important player on the Chicago Bears because he's going to be dominant no matter what. The strength this man holds, the speed this man holds. Listen, Khalil Mack, in my opinion, I'm sorry, you can say what you want. He affects the ball so much. He is the best player in the NFL, and he should be in the running for MVP. He should be a top name spoken about for MVP. Now, defensive players generally don't win MVP. It's usually a quarterback's award. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But at the end of the day, Khalil Mack is one of the best football players in the NFL, if not the best, and he is going to impact this defense so much. Like I said before, Akeem Hicks makes things easy for Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack makes things easy for the entire defense. Khalil Mack being there makes Kyle Fuller better, makes Eddie Jackson better, makes Roquan Smith better, makes so many players on this defense better. That's the only reason I put him above Akeem Hicks. He's so huge to this team. He's so impactful on every down. And we saw what the Bears kind of struggled with when he wasn't out there. Yeah, they were still a good defense, but you needed him, right? You needed his aggression. You needed his talent. Now, do I think that the Bears will take a step forward on defense? Listen, I do. A lot of people think they're going to take a step back. They can't repeat that performance. But listen, you got Khalil Mack coming back, fully healthy, strong, ready to do it. Akeem Hicks coming back, fully healthy, strong. And with Khalil Mack in there, with Khalil Mack on the edge, coming off of that edge, attacking the quarterback, where you gonna run? Who you gonna put in front of? The only thing you can do is double team him, and that just makes the rest of this defensive line so much stronger. So for that, Khalil Mack, you are my number 2 player as the most important Chicago Bear right now. And like I said before, I was going back and forth on this a lot. Should it be Khalil? Should it be somebody else for the number 1 spot? I couldn't put Khalil at 1, like I said, because of the names that are on that defense. I think that the Bears defense can still be dominant even if Khalil Mack isn't there. Do I think that the dominance is waned a little bit? Yeah, but do I think that they can still come out and be aggressive, be dominant, be a top defense? Yes, I do. So for that, I made the number 1 player on this list, and you got to know who it is. It's your quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell has to be great. Mitchell has to be one of the best quarterbacks in this NFC. If he's just a step behind Aaron Rodgers, I'm talking about where they rank, he has to prove, though, that he is at least the second best quarterback in this NFC. And I think that if he does that, the Chicago Bears will go so far. This offense taking a step forward depends on Mitch. It also depends on the running game. That's why I put David Montgomery where I put him. But Mitchell Trubisky has to be the guy. He has to be more accurate. He has to be ready to take the reins of this team. Listen, he's got to be making some calls out there. He's got to see what the defenses are doing, and he's got to be ready for it. That's what top quarterbacks do. That's what's going to get the Chicago Bears a Super Bowl this season. That is what is going to make this 2019-2020 team the most dominant team we have seen, not only this year, but moving forward. And listen, I think Mitchell can do it. I think Mitchell is going to be a lot more accurate. I think that he's going to read defenses much better, and he's had another season in Nagy's scheme. Listen, the combination of Mitchell Trubisky and Matt Nagy will be one that will be talked about for years to come. You can call me on that. For the Bears to be great, Mitchell just has to perform. He has to hit his guys in the hands. He has to make Allen Robinson into that top guy that we know he can be. But all of the receivers, everybody else who I could name, they all depend on Mitch. They all depend on Mitchell being great. And so that is why I got Mitchell Trubisky as my number one player for the most important Chicago Bear on this team for 2019-2020. And those are my top 5 most important Chicago Bears on the 2019-2020 season. Please, 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 if you could, like the video, subscribe to the page, DM me more ideas, tweet me more ideas, comment more ideas for videos that you would like to see this page do in the future. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell, and as Ringo would say, tell your mamas to tell their mamas. It is your boy, Pat the Designer. I'm going to get up out of here. Peace.